What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hope you guys had a great day today. Only traded two names, LRHC and CPOP. Um, actually three, GRDI, but that was a slow moving one. Nice return, but on that one. But my mains today were LRHC and then CPOP. Daily wise, I wish I was paying attention more to this in pre-market, which is fine. I kind of got on a little late today. Definitely was under the weather, but feeling better and back into the grind, right? Um, this one I did not attack super hard right out of the gates. Um, this is great. I want to bring up something too again. The difference between trading these candlesticks and actually trading the book, because this did actually have a nice breakdown zone right here on the book with some sellers, and then you see some buyers stepping back up, and then bidders pushing up underneath where sellers were previously dumping this with no bids at all, right? So was definitely really great ads down here. If you guys caught this and actually saw this, that's the huge difference between trading these candlesticks and then trading the book, right? Um, Besides looking at level two and then seeing how it's actually painted and getting that visualization of things like that, yeah, this is a minute, but this gives you plenty of time to actually make a decision while you have this 1 minute candle right here forming, right? Huge difference to me. Granted, you got to make sure you have your level two up and you're watching that, right? Because the ARCA book is not on there, so it's very simple. Um, Even when spreads come in on the book, right? I'm watching that and I see ARCA. Okay, I see their liquidity and I see that on the level two, and combine that with time and sales and so on, right? But I didn't catch these ads. I actually played this more over here. We had a couple of great confluences on this. We had pre-market high pivot, which is right here, right before open, and then we have the daily pivot sitting up right here at 294. So I actually had a nice 290s average on this one. Pulled back a little bit, got some 289s, 290, 291, and actually rode this for highs. Um, if this was traded maybe at the $2 and caught that move, I think it was definitely a better return. Um, but this was even from soak ads, right? Um, it was just a 13 to 15% return. It's not bad. Um, Super grateful, right, for it still. It just I like to try to look for more potential. Now, when I trade pennies, and you see a lot of my videos on pennies, sometimes these things have you're getting 40, 50, 60, 100, 150, 200% returns. It's crazy, the penny mania. So going back into if that cycle's kind of dying out, it's going to be super important to capitalize on these and kind of trade them maybe a little bit more aggressive, and then looking to take some profits for these type of moves. Um, Cent wise, right? That's just 30. It's about 40 cent return, 35, right? Scaling into it, seeing it pulling back, maybe scaling some more. So you're probably gonna get 30 to 45 cent return on your share, which is great. All right, book wise on this one, again, this was that soak zone before we actually went. So I thought this breakdown area was actually phenomenal to see. There was a lot of quick swipes downs and no breakdowns. So uh, soaking into these areas was to me was pretty key. Again, you had that pre-market pivot, daily high pivot, and then what was nice was to start seeing some bidders come in 290s, and then buyers stepping up, particularly where sellers were, right. So this is that breakdown zone. Okay, so to me, I had 290s. I started soaking into that zone and trading that zone more particular. This was a great little pullback right here that did not break down and then continue to swipe up into this area. Now, 330s had a lot of trouble. This should have went, and daily perspective wise, if this was going to continue, I was pretty much looking for a more of a breakout. Maybe this is previous VWAP, 398 on that one. But Bookwise really helped tell that story right here. Really no bid push up, bid follow through this aggressive market buyers setting up right here. Sellers then came back down and shoved 330. They tried again, and they tried it again right here. But buyers were getting absorbed, particularly over here, here, and here. So 330 was really um, a key level to really see it break out. So another reason, again, utilizing the book is being able to see this and see when volume comes in and see no follow through, and then see that there is no more appetite. You can see there is no more appetite, and you see these bidders get sold through. So um, it's really nice to start scaling out, scaling out, scaling out, and then avoiding losing another 20 cents to the face and then happen to stop out right where my average is. So that was a nice little starter right there. CPOP was definitely a lot better to me. Um, CPOP too. I thought this one was great. This one was like started to catch later on in the morning. Let me see. Yeah, it was. It started to catch a little bit after bell, more over towards like 10:15. Um, this was a great pullback area right here on CPOP. This is actually where I really first started to add and soak right here. It was just a starter for me. This pullback into these 150s right here, I saw a seller get absorbed. But what was important right here was this is an important daily level after a lot of volume started to come in, right? So pull up CPOP. Sorry, still getting over being sick. All right, this, let me get this off. I don't know why that's there. Um, that's fine. Okay, so CPOP, a couple things. CPOP was super important to watch, right? This is definitely a huge beaten down daily, and then we started to catch some volume. It finished 34 mil, nothing too crazy, but it was very soaky on the tape, right? CPOP, this is that particular area right here on the daily that I was focused in. Once I saw that this breakdown zone wasn't going to go and hold, I immediately stopped out and then to re-add over here. I wanted to re-add because of this particular daily zone right here. Once we started to pull back right here on the daily, we started to retest these areas, and this did not get heavy, and that seller got absorbed. So if you're watching this candlestick right here, this was that action right here, and this is where absorption started to take place, okay? This had no more follow through, and yeah, there's little bids right here. Some bid action came in at 150. It was enough for me to get in. I think I grabbed 7,600 or just 7,800 shares. Nothing too crazy. I averaged up over here into this other breakdown zone. All right. When this started to break down again and there was no more follow through, there was something really particular that you needed to follow on the level 2, and you could have used the book or level 2. There was a hidden seller right here at 168. Okay. And the reason why there was a hidden seller right here at 168 because you could see all the aggressive liquidity trying to go through right here, right? Just particular on these volume dots, right? And there's no liquidity behind these volume dots. All right. On the level 2, 168 was showing 1. And then there was a lot of volume trying to push through these areas right here. You know, 7K, 6,400, 12,000, 11,000. There was a hidden seller. So once we did not break down, soaked that daily level, I grabbed my starter down there and then I waited to see this particular area break through, and then it got retested, and to me this hidden seller then became an area of interest where it was becoming defended, right? And what I mean by that is there was a hidden seller, someone got a lot more shares, got their average, that hidden seller broke, and then we got a nice move to 188. All right. Super stoked about that, but then it's I always talk about things needing to pull back. I've been in so many trades now where I want to see things pull back. When things pull back, you get better reads, and what I mean by that is that when things pull back, you get to see how that pullback is going to be reacted, right? Whether it's a long or a short perspective, like when things pull back, I get to see how things are soaking, testing previous areas of interest, it could be pivots, dailies, levels, breakdown zones, right? How does this breakdown zone happen? Again, this did have a lot of open space, so it was super important to understand that, and you can see it clearly. Reswipe this, but that 168 level right here was super important to me, super key level uh, uh, on that one, and then the fact that it swiped right down, did not get heavy, or you didn't see sellers being super aggressive in this area. It was nice to see it swipe right back up and actually go out and make new highs on this one. Unfortunately, this one didn't squeeze out more. Daily wise, I definitely thought this one wasn't that bad. From 150s, I think it was a little bit better return on this one. Um, yeah, way better. We got about 48% return on this one. 30 to 48%. That was a lot better. I was able to actually take some sides into this one once I averaged up right here in this particular breakdown zone right here, right? So that was that quick swipe down, consolidating over a lot of breakdown zones actually on this one, which was really nice to see. That 168 level again on the book where I showed you prior. You can see there's a clearly hidden seller on that level 2 eyes, and it just wasn't breaking down. But once we pulled back down to this area, that was really great. So that was actually a great move. Um, Trading the rotation on this one too, down here wasn't that bad. I actually missed these ads. I wish I didn't get that, but I was able to grab some off of these areas right here once this started to reclaim, right? And this is what it looked like on the book, which I thought was even more interesting right here, okay? Um, Super, super cool on this one, guys, too. What do we got? 11 minutes in. Real quick, there was this 44K front runner or spoof bidder all over, right? You can kind of see it right here. It was 46, 44 at random times, but they were all over this book, rigging this, right? You can kind of see them not get sold into, but then finally get pulled, right? 45K. It was really nice to see that over and over again and be able to spot that type of liquidity and see how things are reacting right there. But in particular, again, this 1237, I was able to catch this particular dip. Again, some spoof bids came in, but really what was important was watching some buyers re-step through 194 level. So this pullback right here was also key, and catching a secondary move. But it's really important structure, right? Me and J-Rock go over structure so much. So no matter what or when I'm trading these small caps, um, when things rotate, it's very important to try to, you got to be weary of how you're timing the rotation. What's a good area to risk off of? I particularly don't trade these too aggressive once I try to get a secondary move in there because I don't want to get chopped up or get my profits back. I'd rather trade these a little bit lighter size and then knowingly selling a lot into these pushes up, right? So I think this is something good to talk about and a concept, right? Um, I was looking for a particular lower high bounce in this one, right? So when things start to get extended and you see some aggressive buyers up in here, ideally, to me, if there's no continuation, guys, it's a good idea to start taking profits right here and maybe move your stop loss up. I particularly did just I made sure I got stopped out, break even, or a couple shares up after hitting the secondary move. But I'm really particular watching like some where's the lower high, where could potentially be the rotation on this. But if I am going to play what I think is backside and looking for rotations, it's I found that it's nice to sell into the strength, right? Because if you look left, right, it's super important. Don't forget about all of your little things that you need to particular stay aware of, right? Be mindful of. Like if you look left, sorry, we had this type of volume cranking to get it up to this price level and this range, right? So when we start curling and we're getting maybe average volume, right? If you look at this, always pay attention to volume, okay? Our average volume was good peak volume was sitting right about here, right? This is really where we had most big volume come through right here, so that's average volume right there to me. And once we start curling and we're underneath average volume, it's very important to not get bull trapped into thinking that this could potentially go higher, because then we're going to start getting those 1 minute pullback flags that fail, right? Tries to squeeze, fails, tries again right here, fails, and then you can clearly see, um, whoops, you can clearly see, right, the bidder leaving the building, and then how the liquidity is getting trapped right there. But that's all I got, guys. CPOP, LRHC. LRHC was great, cool, 13, 15% on this one, but the real move was on CPOP today, catching 30 to 48% on that return. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out, Mikey.